Welcome back to our channel. We are happy to have you here today. Listening to stories and book summaries is one of the best ways to improve your English. You learn new vocabulary. You improve your listening skills. You also become more confident in speaking English. Today's lesson is based on one of the most famous books about human behavior. The book is called The Law of Human Nature. This book teaches us an important truth. If you understand people, you understand life. Many problems happen because we do not understand ourselves. We also fail to understand others. We become angry. We feel disappointed. We trust the wrong people. Sometimes we even make the same mistakes again and again. But why does this happen? Because every human being follows certain patterns. These patterns are often hidden. Most people never notice them. But once you understand these patterns, your life becomes much easier. You can make better decisions. You can build stronger relationships. You can avoid unnecessary conflicts. And most importantly, you can understand yourself better. Today, we will learn the first lessons from this amazing book. So sit back, relax, listen carefully, and enjoy today's story. Meet Daniel. Imagine a young man named Daniel. Daniel was kind. He worked hard. He wanted everyone to like him. He believed people always told the truth. He believed good intentions were enough. Whenever someone smiled at him, he trusted them. Whenever someone praised him, he believed every word. At first, everything seemed fine. But slowly, problems began to appear. Some people lied to him. Some people used his kindness. Some people only wanted his help. After getting what they wanted, they disappeared. Daniel became confused. He asked himself, why do people change so quickly? Why do they say one thing and do another? Why can't I understand people? One evening, Daniel visited an old teacher. The teacher had spent many years studying people. He understood human behavior. He listened carefully to Daniel's story. Then he smiled gently. "My son," he said, "the problem is not that people are impossible to understand. The problem is that you only see what they show you. You do not see what is hidden inside them." Daniel looked surprised. "What do you mean?" he asked. The teacher replied, "Every person has two faces. One face is shown to the world. The other face stays hidden. If you only believe what you see, people will often surprise you." Daniel became silent. This was the beginning of an important lesson. Lesson 1. People are ruled by emotions. The teacher looked at Daniel and asked, "Tell me, do you think people make decisions using logic?" Daniel answered quickly, "Yes, of course." The teacher smiled. "That is what most people believe. But it is not true. Most people first make emotional decisions. Then they use logic to explain them." Daniel looked confused. The teacher continued, "Imagine someone wants to buy a new phone. They tell everyone, 'I bought it because it has the best camera,' or because it has more storage. But the real reason may be very different. Maybe they wanted to impress their friends. Maybe they wanted to feel successful. Maybe they simply liked the brand. The emotion came first. The logic came later." Daniel thought about this. He remembered buying expensive shoes. He had told everyone they were comfortable. But deep inside, He knew he bought them because everyone else had them. The teacher nodded. You see, even you do it. We all do. This is part of human nature. The teacher continued. When someone becomes angry, they often believe they are completely right. But many times, their emotions are controlling them. When someone feels jealous, they rarely admit it. They create another reason. They say, I just don't like that person. But the real reason may be envy. Daniel slowly understood. So emotions are stronger than logic. The teacher smiled. Much stronger. If you understand people's emotions, you will understand their actions. Lesson 2. Stop taking everything personally. The next morning, Daniel returned to the teacher. I have been thinking all night, he said. I realize people act emotionally. But sometimes people insult me. Sometimes they ignore me. Sometimes they treat me badly. Why? The teacher asked. When someone throws mud into a river, does the river become angry? Daniel smiled. No. The river simply keeps flowing. Exactly, said the teacher. Most people's actions are about themselves. They are not about you. If someone is unhappy, they may speak harshly. If someone feels insecure, they may criticize others. If someone feels weak, they may try to control people. Their behavior comes from their own pain, not from your value. Daniel remembered a man at work. The man shouted at everyone every day. Daniel had always believed he had done something wrong. Later, he discovered the man was having serious problems at home. His anger had nothing to do with Daniel. The teacher smiled. Never allow another person's emotions to control your peace. The calmer you stay, the stronger you become. Lesson 3. The mask people wear. One afternoon, the teacher took Daniel to the city. Many people walked through the busy streets. Some were laughing. Some were talking loudly. Some looked confident. The teacher asked, What do you see? Daniel answered, I see happy people. The teacher smiled. Look again. Daniel looked more carefully. He noticed something different. Some smiles looked forced. Some people laughed without joy. Some looked tired. Some avoided eye contact. The teacher said, Many people wear invisible masks. They smile while feeling lonely. They act confident while feeling afraid. They pretend to be successful while worrying every night. Daniel asked, Why do people hide their true feelings? The teacher answered, Because everyone wants acceptance. Everyone wants respect. Many people fear rejection. So they create an image. They show the world only what they want others to see. Daniel became thoughtful. So I should never judge people too quickly. Exactly. The quiet person may have great wisdom. The loud person may feel deeply insecure. The smiling person may be carrying great pain. The successful person may still feel empty. You never know someone's complete story. So always be kind. Lesson 4. Your ego can become your biggest enemy. As they walked home, Daniel asked another question. What is the biggest weakness of human beings? The teacher answered without hesitation. Ego. Daniel looked curious. What is ego? The teacher explained. Ego is the voice inside you that always wants to be important. It wants attention. It wants praise. It, it wants to be right. It hates criticism. It hates losing. Daniel nodded slowly. I think I know that feeling. The teacher laughed softly. We all know that feeling. The problem begins when ego becomes your master. Ego stops learning. It refuses advice. It blames others. It believes it already knows everything. Daniel remembered many successful people who later failed. They stopped listening. They became proud. They ignored warnings. Finally, everything collapsed. The teacher continued. The greatest people stay humble. They continue learning. They admit mistakes. They improve every day. The moment you believe you know everything, that is the moment you stop growing. Daniel never forgot those words. Lesson 5. Observe more, speak less. Before they reached home, the teacher stopped walking. He pointed toward a park. People were sitting everywhere. Some argued loudly. Some talked without stopping. Others simply watched quietly. The teacher smiled. Tell me, who do you think learns more? Daniel looked around. The people who are watching. Correct. The person who talks all the time only repeats what they already know. But the person who listens gains new knowledge. Observe people's faces. Observe their actions. Observe their habits. Actions always reveal more than words. Daniel spent the next few weeks doing exactly that. Instead of speaking first, he listened. Instead of judging quickly, he observed. Instead of reacting immediately, he stayed calm. Slowly, he noticed things he had never seen before. He understood people's feelings more clearly. He recognized hidden emotions. He became wiser. Not because he spoke more, but because he observed more. The teacher looked at Daniel with a warm smile. You have learned 5 important lessons today. People are guided by emotions. Do not take everything personally. Everyone wears a hidden mask. Control your ego. And always observe more than you speak. Daniel felt that his understanding of people had completely changed. He realized that real wisdom was not about knowing many facts. Real wisdom was understanding human nature. But the journey had only just begun. There were many more lessons waiting for him. And those lessons would change the way he saw the world forever. Daniel could not stop thinking about the teacher's words. For many days, he watched people carefully. He noticed their faces. He noticed their voices. He noticed their actions. Slowly, he realized something surprising. People often said one thing, but their actions told a completely different story. One afternoon, Daniel returned to the teacher. I understand people a little better now, he said. But I still make mistakes. Sometimes I trust the wrong person. Sometimes I cannot see bad intentions until it is too late. The teacher smiled. That is because you are still looking only at people's words. You must learn to look deeper. The next lessons are about the hidden side of human nature. Daniel sat quietly. He was ready to listen. The hidden feeling of envy. The teacher picked up a small stone from the ground. He held it in his hand. Tell me, Daniel, what is the emotion people hide the most? Daniel thought for a moment. Maybe fear. The teacher shook his head. No, it is envy. Daniel looked surprised. Envy. Yes. Very few people admit they are jealous. Instead, they hide it behind other words. They say, "I am only giving advice," or "I am only being honest." But deep inside, they are uncomfortable with another person's success. Daniel asked, "Why does this happen?" The teacher answered, "Because people naturally compare themselves with others. When someone achieves something great, two choices appear. They can feel inspired, or they can feel jealous. The weak mind chooses jealousy. The strong mind chooses inspiration." Daniel remembered a friend from school. When Daniel received a promotion at work, his friend smiled. He congratulated him. But after that day, he became cold. He stopped calling. He stopped visiting. Later, Daniel heard that his friend had been speaking badly about him. Daniel had never understood why. Now he finally did. The teacher nodded. Envy rarely speaks openly. It works in silence. That is why you must watch actions, not only smiles. Never believe every compliment. The teacher continued. Many people think that anyone who praises them must be a friend. But that is not always true. Daniel listened carefully. The teacher said, "Some people give compliments because they truly respect you. But others do it because they want something from you. They make you feel special. They make you trust them. And once they gain your trust, they ask for help." Daniel remembered a businessman he once met. The man always praised him. "You are so intelligent. You are different from everyone else. You are amazing." Daniel had believed every word. A few weeks later, the man borrowed a large amount of money. After receiving the money, he disappeared. Daniel never saw him again. The teacher smiled gently. Kind words are beautiful, but never let compliments control your judgment. A wise person enjoys praise, but they never become blind because of it. Learn to control your reactions. The teacher stood up. He walked toward a small lake. The water was perfectly calm. He threw a tiny stone into it. Small circles appeared across the surface. "Do you see this?" Daniel nodded. Every action creates a reaction. So does every word. The teacher continued. Some people know exactly how to control others. They insult you. They criticize you. They make you angry. And once you lose your temper, they control you. Daniel asked, "So what should I do?" The teacher smiled. Do not give them what they want. When someone tries to make you angry, stay calm. When someone wants you to argue, stay peaceful. When someone wants to steal your energy, protect your mind. The person who controls their emotions becomes impossible to control. Daniel repeated those words quietly. The person who controls their emotions becomes impossible to control. The desire for attention. As they walked through the market, Daniel noticed a young man speaking loudly. He laughed louder than everyone else. He interrupted every conversation. He wanted every person to look at him. Daniel asked, "Why does he behave like that?" The teacher answered, "Because attention feels powerful. Many people do almost anything to receive it. They show off. They argue. They create drama. They exaggerate stories. They always want to be the center of every conversation. Daniel watched carefully. Almost nobody enjoyed talking with the young man. People smiled politely. Then they quietly walked away. The teacher looked at Daniel. Real confidence is quiet. It does not need constant attention. The strongest person in the room is often the calmest one. Daniel smiled. He remembered how much he used to speak. He realized he had often searched for attention without knowing it. Be careful of first impressions. The next day, the teacher invited Daniel to meet two strangers. The first man wore expensive clothes. He spoke politely. He looked confident. The second man wore simple clothes. He spoke very little. After the meeting, the teacher asked, "Which man do you trust more?" Daniel answered quickly, "The first man. He looks successful." The teacher smiled. That was a fast decision. A few days later, Daniel learned the truth. The rich-looking man was dishonest. He had cheated many people. The quiet man was respected by everyone in his village. He was known for his honesty. Daniel felt embarrassed. The teacher said, "Human beings love appearances. We judge clothes. We judge faces. We judge expensive things. But appearance is only the outside. Character lives on the inside. Never make important decisions after only one meeting. Time reveals the truth. Patience reveals character." Daniel asked, "How can I know someone's true character?" The teacher answered, "Do not test them. Simply give them time. Time removes every mask. When people become comfortable, their real personality appears. If someone is kind only for one day, that is easy. But if they stay kind during difficult times, that is true character. If someone is honest only when life is easy, their honesty is weak. But if they stay honest even when they could gain something by lying, that is real integrity." Daniel understood. Character could never be measured in a single moment. It appeared slowly, like the sunrise, little by little. Success changes people. The teacher stopped walking again. He looked toward the mountains. "Daniel, there is another important lesson. Success changes people." Daniel asked, "Is success dangerous?" The teacher smiled. "No, but it reveals what is already inside a person. If someone is kind before success, they often become even kinder. If someone is greedy before success, they usually become greedier. Money does not change character. Power does not create character. They simply reveal it." Daniel remembered several famous people. Some became generous after becoming rich. Others became arrogant. The teacher nodded. Their true nature was always there. Success only removed the mask. The greatest habit of wise people. The sun slowly moved lower in the sky. Daniel felt his mind becoming clearer. The teacher looked at him and asked, "After everything you have learned, what do you think is the greatest habit of wise people?" Daniel thought carefully. Finally, he answered, "They observe." The teacher smiled proudly. "Yes, they observe without rushing. They listen without interrupting. They think before reacting. They never allow emotions to make important decisions. They understand that every person is fighting an invisible battle. So they stay patient. They stay calm. And because of that, they see what others completely miss. Daniel looked around him. The world had not changed. The people had not changed. But his eyes had changed. For the first time, he was beginning to understand the hidden rules that guided human nature. And he knew the teacher still had many more lessons to share. The next morning, Daniel climbed the mountain once again. The sun was rising. The air was cool and fresh. The teacher was already sitting under the old tree. His eyes were closed. He looked peaceful. Daniel sat beside him without saying a word. After a few moments, the teacher opened his eyes. He smiled. "I can see something has changed." Daniel nodded. "I no longer look at people the same way. I understand that every person hides emotions. I understand that actions are more important than words. But I still have one question. How can I live wisely in a world where people are so complicated?" The teacher looked toward the mountains. Then he began his final lesson. The battle inside every person. "Daniel," the teacher said softly, "every human being is fighting an invisible battle. Some people fight fear. Some fight loneliness. Some fight regret. Others fight anger or sadness. Most of these battles cannot be seen." Daniel listened carefully. The teacher continued, "That is why you should never judge someone too quickly. The angry person may be carrying great pain. The quiet person may be stronger than everyone around them. The smiling person may be hiding deep sadness. You only see a small part of another person's life. So always leave room for kindness." Daniel thought about many people he had judged in the past. Now he realized how little he had actually known about them. Do not chase everyone's approval. The teacher picked up a small leaf. The wind carried it away. He watched it disappear. Many people spend their whole lives trying to make everyone happy. They want everyone to like them. They fear criticism. They fear rejection. But this is impossible. Daniel asked, "Why?" The teacher smiled. "Because every person sees the world differently. No matter what you do, someone will disagree. Someone will misunderstand you. Someone will criticize you. If you spend your life chasing everyone's approval, you will lose yourself." Daniel became silent. The teacher continued, "Instead of asking, 'Do people like me?' ask, 'Am I living according to my values?' That question will bring peace. Learn from every failure." Daniel asked another question. "What about failure?" "I have failed many times." The teacher laughed softly. "So has every successful person. The difference is not failure. The difference is the response. Some people fail once. Then they quit. Others fail many times. But every failure teaches them something. They become stronger. They become wiser. They improve little by little." The teacher looked at Daniel. "Mistakes are teachers. Do not hate them. Learn from them." Daniel remembered the people he had trusted too quickly. He remembered the opportunities he had lost. For the first time, he did not feel regret. He felt gratitude. Those experiences had made him wiser. Your habits shape your future. The teacher stood up. They began walking through the forest. As they walked, the teacher pointed toward a small stream. "Look at the water. It never stops moving. Day after day, year after year, slowly it shapes the rocks. Not because it is powerful, but because it is consistent. The teacher looked at Daniel. People are exactly the same. Your future is created by your daily habits. Small actions repeated every day become your character. If you practice patience every day, you become patient. If you practice honesty, you become honest. If you practice learning, you become wise. Great success never appears in one day. It grows slowly, just like the stream shapes the stone. Daniel smiled. He understood. Real change was never fast. It happened one day at a time. Choose peace over pride. As they reached the top of the hill, they saw two strangers arguing loudly. Each person wanted to prove they were right. Neither person listened. The teacher watched quietly. Then he turned to Daniel. "What do you see?" Daniel answered, "I see two people trying to win." The teacher nodded. "And both are losing." Daniel looked confused. "Losing?" "Yes. They are losing their peace. They are losing their energy. They are losing their time. The need to be right often creates unnecessary suffering." The teacher smiled. Sometimes the strongest answer is silence. Sometimes walking away is wisdom. You do not have to win every argument. You only need to protect your peace. Daniel remembered many pointless arguments from his past. None of them had changed anything. Most had only created more anger. The greatest victory. The sun slowly began to set. Golden light covered the mountains. Everything became quiet. The teacher sat under another tree. Daniel sat beside him. For a long time, neither of them spoke. Finally, Daniel asked one last question. What is the greatest victory a person can achieve? The teacher smiled. It is not defeating another person. It is defeating yourself. Daniel looked surprised. The teacher continued. Control your anger. Control your pride. Control your fear. Control your selfishness. When you master your own mind, no one can truly control you. The strongest person is not the one who defeats others. The strongest person is the one who has learned to master themselves. Daniel closed his eyes. Those words touched his heart more deeply than anything else he had learned. A new beginning. The next morning, Daniel prepared to leave the mountain. Before leaving, he bowed respectfully to the teacher. "Thank you," he said. "You have changed the way I see people." The teacher smiled warmly. "No, I only helped you open your eyes. The real journey begins today. You will continue learning for the rest of your life. Every person you meet will teach you something. Every success will teach you. Every failure will teach you. Every friendship. Every disappointment. If you continue observing. If you continue learning. And if you remain humble. You will never stop growing." Daniel nodded. He began walking back toward the city. The road was the same. The mountains were the same. The world was the same. But Daniel was no longer the same person. He no longer judged people too quickly. He no longer trusted empty words. He no longer reacted with anger. He listened more. He observed more. He thought more carefully before making decisions. He understood that every human being carried hidden emotions. He understood that true strength came from self-control. And most importantly, he understood that the greatest knowledge was not simply understanding other people. It was understanding himself. From that day forward, Daniel lived differently. He spoke with kindness. He acted with patience. He learned from every mistake. He stayed humble during success. He remained calm during difficult times. And because he understood human nature, he built stronger relationships. He made wiser decisions. He found greater peace. The lessons of the mountain stayed with him for the rest of his life. Wherever he went, he remembered one simple truth. When you understand human nature, you understand life itself. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's book summary and learned something valuable. Keep practicing your English every day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.